Check one, check one.
I enjoy the music.
Yeah, I mean...
Are you dripping all over yourself?
It's just sweating from the condensation. Or it could be me sweating, I don't know. Is my mic set up right here? Yeah.
Hi, David.
Hey,
Cheers.
Josh. Yeah, good morning,
Good
everybody.
morning. We would have been on time, but Brian had, to get his daughter's stitches out, and he's walking in here as we get going. He goes, "How do I do this again?"
He's always got an excuse, right? This one, he's just throwing his kids under the bus, which is kind of fun. But,
well, happy July. We are halfway through the year.
Yeah.
You've got your fish shirt on. I've got my guitar socks on. It's a fun time. It's a party time of the year. It's summer. We talked about this last time. I love summer.
It is your favorite time of year.
Now, usually we talk a little bit about what's going on, but the last June we did this, or last month we did this. We have a compliance team.
Sure.
Everything we say is highly regulated. People check us to make sure that what we're saying is not, is
exaggerated.
They can't
false.
say that it's true, but they can't. They want to make sure we're not doing anything that we shouldn't do. And one of those things was you didn't put your disclosure up early enough. So Teresa, Debbie. Disclosure. This is everything you're about to hear is for informational purposes only, not to be construed as specific advice. If you'd like specific advice, we're happy to provide it for you. We just need to know more about you to do that. So, see, it's up early now. We got the disclosure in there. Don't eat your microphone.
No, but yours is like set up so much better than mine. Yours is right at mine's like pointing towards you.
Well,
I don't know what to
you
say.
hear me better that way.
Yeah, that's true.
So how is your summer going?
I feel like I base it on when school starts again, and we just hit like the 6-week mark before school starts. I know. So that means like we're almost halfway through summer, which is ridiculous.
Are you guys into the World Cup at all in your family?
We're doing it just so we can keep up with the Joneses, more or less. We don't know anything about soccer.
I grew up playing soccer. I was never any good at it. I did it so I didn't sit on my couch and eat nothingness or eat too much before basketball season.
Yeah.
But I love the game. Like, it's fun to watch, and at this level, it's incredible.
Yeah.
This is the most fun I've had watching soccer. It's really cool.
So kind of name drop, but friends of ours who are on Landon's baseball team, the dad played for Chicago Fire. He coaches on the Chicago Fire staff now
cool.
too. Yeah. So Carla and Landon are over there hanging out with them when the U.S. was on, and he was really trying to be polite in explaining rules to Carl and Landon while also focusing on the game. Way more patient than me, because like during a Bears or a Bulls game, I'm like, don't ask me anything. Like, no, like you just sit there in silence. Don't ask me.
One of people, a lot of times people ask us like, how do you use AI? What's a good use of AI? And one of my favorite uses of AI is to have it explain complex things to me like I'm a third grader.
Yeah.
And my favorite that I've tried is explain. And I refereed soccer. I know the soccer rules, but trying to explain offsides in soccer, it confuses people. But ask AI to explain offsides in soccer to you like you're a third grader.
And it works?
And it works unbelievably well. It's just incredible how it can do that.
I don't know how it happened. Last thing on the World Cup, World Cup, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Last thing on this, that is he Swedish? That dude with the long hair is
Holland,
all over my Instagram feed, like all over. And this dude is fascinating. I'm like,
he is fascinating. And Missy played soccer too as a kid, my wife, and she was talking about, she goes, the fact they can kick it a long way makes sense. But when they put their head to the ball and it flies all the way across the field, it's like, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So
I know. Moving on.
Summertime has been a lot of fun. We've had a lot of fun recently. My kids, we've talked about it recently, are into live music. And we, for Mother's Day, got my wife tickets to go see Ed Sheeran at Soldier Field. And opening for him was an artist called Miles Smith, who we've loved as a family. This is the 5 of us sitting at Soldier Field there. I was not a huge Ed Sheeran fan. I mean, I didn't know his music as well. One of the greatest live performances I've ever seen. And age, like usually at a concert, like there's a specific age. Like, oh, this is a concert for younger kids or older people. Every age group was represented well at the Ed Sheeran concert. It was so cool. We had a great time.
I don't have a photo of this, but we took Landon to his first concert a few weeks ago, Connor Price.
You were telling me about that.
Yeah, it was excellent. Same thing, just kids and adults of all ages just like having the time of their life. Shout out to Steve Francis in our office. He introduced me to Connor Price. I introduced him to Landon, and it's like his favorite guy. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, but Steve's pretty awesome in general. So
yeah, he is.
Yeah,
okay,
cool. He's okay.
The other thing, we're here in July, and my favorite holiday of the year is July 4th.
Or I thought it was Thanksgiving.
No, it's my second favorite holiday of the
Okay,
year.
we'll
Maybe
see
it's
come
my
November.
maybe it's my favorite. I'll
Okay.
tell you it's my favorite at Thanksgiving
Yeah,
time.
it's fair.
But we were lucky enough to celebrate 4th of July with my parents up in Michigan, and I have a picture here of Missy my mother got them like a whole thing of glow bracelets, and the three of them. I don't have Maggie's picture. Maggie made it into a ball, but like it was so cool to see like all the red, white, and blue all over it, and we were having this conversation. I feel like for the first time ever, being patriotic has become a political symbol.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
And we were just saying, like, it felt good at the 4th of July to be patriotic and not have to think about what your political vibe you're giving off is. So that was nice.
Yeah.
But you had some fun things going on too.
Yeah. So, Brian, this is actually like a little 3-photo montage. We had the chance to go play a tournament at the Field of Dreams field in Iowa. Those are pictures of our boys on the actual field that they use for filming. You saw them right in front of the house, and they're sitting on the bleachers where Kevin Costner sits in the movie. There's a action shot of Lando smoking a ball on the field. But we about 2 years ago we decided we wanted to go to the Field of Dreams when they were 11. It's a good age to take them. I wasn't expecting to get sentimental. It wasn't emotional, but I got in the field. I'm like, oh man, this is actually really cool.
Did you hear James Earl Jones when you were there?
Well, he was actually there.
Was he? Oh,
yeah,
he was actually narrating.
He was narrating the batting practice and all that. Awesome time. It's just those are core memories. I feel like cool. I was telling you yesterday, my life like revolves around land and sports, which we're working on. Hopefully, I can be more interesting.
You're in that season of life. I heard.
Yes.
Actually, I was talking to somebody the other day, and I heard them describe life as we go through seasons of life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had our high school basketball season.
I can talk about that.
You can.
Yeah.
We had, I had my young adult, early 20s, no kids. Then you have like your young, and then you have you're in the season of life where it's kid sports.
Yeah.
Our clients are a lot of times they're in the season of life where they're either getting ready for retirement, or they're in retirement, or sometimes it's later in life too. All of these seasons happen, and they can all be good.
I like that, Josh.
I know.
You're so wise. I learn from you every day.
What are we talking about today, Dave?
Also, we got our Retire Well radio show that goes live every Saturday and Sunday from 7 to 8 a.m. on WLS 890 AM. I tune in every morning. No, I don't. But it's Josh and his co-host Mark Elliott talking about all things retirement.
Those are fun ones. So we the show we did last weekend or this weekend, I don't know, but was kind of the impetus for what we're talking about today.
Oh,
so it was kind of nice.
Sure. Okay.
But
Cool.
Brian had up there our mission statement too, and this is something that's near and dear to my heart. We talk about seasons of life, and retirement is a season of life that we all look forward to. And our purpose here at Wellment Financial is to help make retirement the best part of your life. We have a tagline, retire well, live fully. This is something that we want everybody to do. And if we can help in any small way, that's something that's sentimental to us too.
Do you think we should change it to the best season of your life?
Well, I like that one, but that's a lot of explaining to do.
Yeah, true. Okay.
So,
all right, what are we talking about today, Josh? I'm pumped. I'm ready to learn.
Well, we are here in July. We are mid-July 2026. Mid-July, we're early July. We're mid-year. You are creeping me out.
Yeah.
And first off, you kind of look backwards. You go, how did this happen so quickly? I feel like we just had New Year's Eve. And now here we are halfway through the year. I'm just barely learning to write 2026 when I put a date on a form. So I thought we'd look backwards here and kind of talk about halfway through the year, because it's been a big year going forward here. So, Brian, first off, I want to show you my iPad. This is, let's talk about the market a little bit. This is the S&P 500. This is the ETF that mimics that. And year to date, so this is through today. So this is July 8th. So it's a little bit more than halfway through the year. But we're up over 9%. So the market, with everything that's going on right now, is up over 9%. And people often look at that and go, how does that happen? Especially with all the headlines. We've had some crazy headlines this year. If we think about the fact the year started with us invading Venezuela and overthrowing a sitting president. Now, we're not here to talk about politics, but that's a huge news event, and that was January, and we kind of forgot about that at this point in time. Oh, Brian's hitting buttons here. My kids are coming back up. You may just have to click on the things on the screen. Dave, you may have to help him over there. There we go. Ah, there we go.
A little delayed, yeah.
But we kind of forget about that. I mean, we go into the year, we overthrow a dictator, everyone says, oh, that went really easily. And the markets kind of respond a little bit. But then we get into we get into March, and we see headlines of now we're going to war with Iran. And this was just, if it was just strikes. And this war with Iran has carried on. It's become a news topic that has, really dominated our headlines. And we go to war, we come out of war, we're fighting, we're not fighting, we have a peace agreement, we don't have a peace agreement, even up until the point where I just read a news clip before we went live here that said President Trump says that the ceasefire is over. And so this thing is back and forth, and this has dominated the headlines. And when I look at this,
really quick about that, I know like there's some news reports about some Iowa farmers struggling to get fertilizer. I will tell you, Field of Dreams tournament, we got lots of wafts of cow poo when we were playing our game. So, I mean, I don't know if you can just use cow poo for everything. It works. Anyways, I digress. Go ahead.
I tell that you're raising an 11-year-old, 12-year-old boy because that is the joke that comes out.
Yeah. Landon's on deck. He's like, oh, man. Like, I know, man. Hey, it was. What can you do?
Missy the other day says, why does everything have to be about our bodily functions? I was like, because we have a lot of middle school boys in our house.
It's still funny though. You, me, and Brian always talk about that stuff. It's still very funny. All right, carry on.
But one of the things that happened with this war that we weren't anticipating, we were talking about the fact that inflation's come down. Inflation's been going down. Oil prices have skyrocketed. In response to our attacks, Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz, which has over a quarter of our world's oil that flows through it, which sends the cost of it skyrocketing. And like you talk about farmers and fertilizer, oil is in everything. Oil, not just the cars we drive, but it goes into transportation. So the cost of food at the grocery store goes up. The fertilizer, a lot of that is petroleum based. So all of those things happen and it has a massive impact, which has changed our inflation. So Brian, if you don't mind going back here to the screen I had in here, these are our inflation numbers. And I look backwards, and if we go down here towards the end of last year, we were going down under 2.5% year over year on CPI, where if we just got our latest numbers here over at 4.2%, our Fed is trying to get it under 3. 2.5 is kind of their goal as we get into this. So, but what this does is this changes a few things. This makes the cost of living more expensive. The other thing it throws into concern that we start looking at for the year is what's the Fed going to do with interest rates? It's been a long time since I've talked about Federal Reserve and interest rates on this show. But again, news headlines this year, we get a brand new Fed chair. Jerome Powell is out after so many years. We've had so many headlines of Trump wanting to throw him out, doing different things. We get a new Fed chair, and supposedly this Fed chair is all about lowering rates because that's what Trump wants. But now with all of these headlines going in, with inflation coming back up, they're actually talking about raising rates. In fact, I think it was Bank of America came out this week talking about how they expect 2 to 3 rate increases through this year. Now, why do we care about that? Well, we care about that because that has an impact on the economy. It impacts the cost of borrowing. It impacts everything else that goes on. So one headline that we've watched a lot this year, and we're going to continue to watch, is the war in Iran and what it does to our economy, in particular to the spending behavior. Because so far, the spending has consumer spending, which is our largest source of GDP, has increased. And everything seems to be holding, but this is something that we need to make sure that we're monitoring going forward here.
Brian, your refinance went through. It's probably good that you did that. Do that now. All right. Sorry.
All right. Next headline. This one was huge. SpaceX. We had our first trillionaire come through. Elon Musk. Brian, you can take off this. This is just for, hey.
It's a nice graphic.
It's a nice graphic.
Is that AI generated?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it was, I don't know what city they're in. It's really funny to me. But this is the biggest. It hasn't been since Facebook went IPO since I've ever had clients actually call and say, how do I get in on this IPO?
Yeah.
And SpaceX is a technology company. SpaceX is, it's the Tesla of the world. It's that Elon Musk desire. if we look at what's happened over the last 2 years, 3 years, the market performance has been dominated by these big tech companies. It's been dominated by Meta, which is Facebook, Google, IBM, not IBM, Microsoft, Tesla. These giant companies have dominated. A lot of it has been that AI push, that change in technology that's been there. And this year has been a little bit different. Last year, the boom was those big companies itself. Now it seems to be the companies that's supporting them. And so, Brian, if you want to go to our screen, my screen here, this is a great chart that I got from Lincoln Financial Group here.
I can't see that. Kind of looking over your shoulder and just like
Yeah,
stare.
you want to sit in my lap?
Yeah, maybe that might be
That's
easier
great.
to read. Yeah, it'd be great.
I always love it. I'm just sitting here like reading the news in the morning. The kids will just come and sit in my lap. And like, can I see your phone, Dad? But right now, what we're talking about here is we've gone away from the winners being the big companies that are putting the money into it. Now it's the companies that are producing things like the chip makers, the software developers. They're seeing the biggest growth in their stock prices right now. And then we look forward and we say, okay, what happens next in this? Is we look and we say, okay, who's going to benefit from this? We haven't even gotten to the benefits of AI helping these companies out. Utilities, how can we lower the cost of utilities? Financial services, communication, healthcare, all of these things are going to see efficiencies. And it's kind of, probably come off the chart now, but it's kind of like we're coming down this pipe. And so far the benefit reached the top level. Now we're doing the suppliers, and then it's going to reach kind of everybody else. And it's going to be amazing to watch this roll out. But this AI continues to dominate the news cycle this year, especially leading with SpaceX going public there. Now, we'll see where SpaceX goes from here, but it was interesting to watch all of that happen. So,
How's the Bruegger's Bagel stock doing these days?
Dave just threw an inside joke at all of you.
Well, no, for those that early adopters of our podcast.
Early adopters, yeah. I mean, this is a deep cut. We're going deep cut here.
Real deep. In the real deep. Brian knows. Okay.
This is. Do we have to cut things? I mean, is this something we have to worry
Oh,
about?
no. It's a clean joke. It's a clean joke.
But this is, Dave was a assistant manager at a Bruegger's Bagel shop in downtown Elmhurst. The shop had no manager, so he in essence was in charge.
Yeah.
And I was a frequent customer.
Yeah. And you'd pay 70 cents for lunch.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was great. But loved high school bagels.
Can't be fired now. Statute of limitations, baby.
So the other thing, so this next one we're going to talk about, this has been in the news, and this is going to continue to dominate the news this year, is midterm elections. We are in an election cycle. If you haven't seen enough political ads, get excited. They're coming back. It's going to be, we're going into November. This is not the 4-year cycle. This is the 2-year cycle where the entire House of Representatives goes up for election. A third of the Senate goes up for election. And we get to decide what the congressional makeup is going to be like. And you're going to hear pundits talk about how the world is ending. You're going to hear pundits talking about how they really don't say it's good because that doesn't get news, but they'll talk about all these awful things that are happening. But I want to take a look at this here.
Are you announcing your run for mayorship of Elmhurst?
No. That sounds awful.
Right. Maybe next month.
That does not sound fun.
Okay.
Volatility in a midterm election year. So this is a good one here. The dark blue is the volatility in a midterm year, and the gray is a volatility in non-midterm years. And you're going to see in non-midterm years, the volatility barely increases as the year goes on, but the volatility drastically increases in those election years, which makes sense because of the fact that we're getting closer and closer to the election. People get nervous about that. Going over here, but then you can see after the vote, the volatility drops off drastically, but we still finish the average year there with a higher volatility on average compared to non-midterm years, because people are worried about change in what comes in here. But what we always tell people is we look at midterm years, you have to look at the 12 months after the first half of the year. So what this is showing you, and this, I'm going to zoom in because this is kind of goofy. I love graphs. You have to know this. This is the S&P 500 in July through June of the following year. So this will be right now through June of next year. So it's the next 12 months. And on average, and this is going back to 1950, on average in those years, in all years, it's a 9.3% on average growth in that time period. 74% of the time it's been positive. In midterm years, on average, we've had a 19.8% growth in those 12 months, with a 95% of them being positive. And you can see all the numbers over here. It's kind of an amazing statistic to see where the midterm jump. It's kind of like when we see corrections or see things, people feel this certainty, they feel things. And so again, we don't know what's going to happen, but we get this nervousness leading up to the election. We get all these things, and this can be a great, this is just something to keep your eyes on and say, hey, look, it's not so bad as we go through this. I'll go through this here. This is the 12 months following the election. Do I have to share it again, Brian? Did it cancel out on me? Yeah, sorry. I hit a button. Don't hit buttons, people. The 12-month following the election, there we go. What this is showing here is, on average, 12 months following the election, we're at 16.6%. So the worst 12 months following an election is 2014 at 3%. Our best was way back in 1954 at 33.6%. But usually, generally, following a midterm election, we do see positive performance in the S&P 500. The last thing I want to point out, because you're going to hear people talking all the time about which party is in charge, which party is in charge of the of Congress. And what we look at here is, if we have a unified government, meaning we have Republican House, Senate, and a Republican president, on average in those years, we see a 14.5% growth rate in the S&P 500. If we have a unified Congress, meaning Republican, and a Democratic president, that's our lowest. We're split there, 11.7%. But if we have a split Congress, half Republican, half Democrat, it doesn't really matter what it is, it's at 13.8. It makes, what I'm trying to show here is, it makes very little impact who's in charge of our government when we look at this. Now, we get personal with this. This is a sad part of our society, I think, when we fight so much about elections. Like I was talking about how even being patriotic has become political at this point in time. We're going to see people talk about the world ending. We're going to see all these things. This is an election, and we're going to get through it the way we always have. But
yeah, stay positive.
Stay positive out
From
there.
Josh Brettel.
Good God. All right. What do we want to look for going forward here? First off, I tell everybody this: we can't make knee-jerk reactions. The market's been up. It's been on a run. It's been on a tear, but it doesn't mean it's ending. If we look here, and I've showed this chart before, and this is since 1980, since 1990. My over 40 eyes are killing me here. Since 1990, we've hit all-time highs in the S&P 500, 789 days. So what we look at is, if we were to take money and invest on those all-time high days, 1 year later, on average, we'd be up 13.9%. 3 years later, we'd be up almost over 45, and 5 years later, we'd be up 82. That's good. But what about non-all-time days? I mean, people would say, we want to invest when the market's down. Any non-all-time high day, we're still positive, but it's lower than if we were investing at all-time high. So just because we're at a high doesn't mean it's a time that we shouldn't get in the market, stay in the market, whatever it might be. This is my favorite chart, and we haven't talked about this in a while.
That makes my eyes hurt.
Oh
my
God, I
gosh.
love this chart.
It's
This
like
is
a paint
so
by numbers
fun.
kit. No.
This is like the periodic table of asset classes. But what this is
That's
showing,
exciting.
I know, is the best performing asset class year by year. So if I go back here, go back into 2011 and 2012, the best performing asset class were REITs, real estate investment trust. So if you were in those, you were happy. Then all of a sudden, 2013, they were down near the bottom there, or mid range. Then we had 2 more years of positive, and now we go down here into the mid range, bottom range, and they keep popping back and forth. Let's talk about large cap stocks, mid range, high, 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 high. What this is showing is they're all over the place. Where I want to point out, where the proper thing to get people into, Brian, if you go back here one more time for me, is a proper asset allocation. Those white lines, they're never the highest, they're never the lowest, but they perform that constant that's out there. This is not a time to be chasing returns. It's not a time to be chasing cash. But as a mid-year review, a mid-year check-in, this is the time that we sit down with a lot of people and we relook at their portfolios. Have things gotten out of whack? Do we need to do a rebalancing? Are you feeling uncomfortable with what's going on? So as we sit down with people, if you're listening to this and you feel uncomfortable, let's talk about that. Let's figure out why, because things do get out of whack. And all the headlines, we get emotional, we get concerned about what's happening here. But this is a time that you want to make sure that you have everything. You're not making emotional knee-jerk reactions just because we're halfway through what has been a difficult, volatile year. And with the elections coming up, it's going to continue to be a volatile year, and we don't know what's going to happen. But remember, we talked about before, our mission statement is to help make retirement the best part of your life. And it doesn't say the best part of your life, season of your life.
Yes.
It doesn't just say in good markets or when the Republicans are in charge, when the Democrats are in charge. Mm-hmm. It's constant. And so no matter what's happening out there, with the right plan in place and the right things going on, you can have that.
You did say, like, you offered them to come talk to us. To be clear, can I talk to these people? What if they want to talk to me about their
If you want to talk to them about baseball,
yeah,
Bulls basketball, you are a
great
rock star
great
at that.
Yeah.
90s alternative hip hop rock music.
All 90s everything, yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Not portfolios though?
No, I would not talk about investments, taxes, anything with you whatsoever. But other than that, yeah, I think you're
okay. Great, cool. I'm an asset to the Wellment Financial Company.
You are. You have your finger on the pulse.
Yeah, thank you. That's
So,
all right.
Dave.
Yeah.
What are the kids saying nowadays, like about this like and subscribe thing?
Oh my gosh, we haven't said it in a long time. Friends, Romans, countrymen. Look, hey, if you're watching right now, hit that like button. Even if you don't like me, many don't. Just hit that like button. What that's gonna do is people who are on YouTube searching for just like help or information, or maybe someone's looking for like, hey, I want a mid-year recap of what's going on. You hitting like tells YouTube to put our video in front of other people, and it actually does work. It's kind of cool. While you're there, hit subscribe too. I mean, we have like 15 billion subscribers now.
Oh yeah, it's like our value. We're like the SpaceX valuation.
Yeah, we're basically Mr. Beast of the financial world. So yeah, like and subscribe. That'd be awesome. Appreciate it. Also, you know what? Someone made a comment to me after our last show. They're like, "Wow, Dave, how do you like whenever Brian transitions to this shot of you and I, like the colors magically change?" I said, "No, it's just because we don't know how to use the cameras." But like, it's so glaring when I'm watching this.
You have a friend who like looks at this every now and then and will give us advice.
Oh, Clayton?
Like, no, well, Clayton will too.
Oh,
we need to get Clayton out. But you have a friend, and he'd be like, "Hey, we don't know. Tell people that you help them manage their money in retirement because you just talk about it."
Uncle Frank, yeah.
So Uncle Frank, I was like, "Oh, okay, well, good. That's what we do."
Sure.
Maybe Uncle Frank can tell us how to fix the color in our cameras here.
Maybe.
So Brian, go to this camera over here.
No. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh look!
Oh, you haven't used. We set this up, Brian. You haven't used this one at all. Oh.
Go back to the bad
here.
color
Let's
here.
Get someone else in here. Oh, great.
It stayed on that one.
Well.
Great googly muggly.
All right. Well, Dave.
Yeah.
I appreciate the first half of the year with you. I look forward to the second half.
It's gonna be a hoot, man. I'm ready for it.
And cheers.
Should we do one more cheers or I smile? All right, guys. Bye.